We are in a very large snowstorm, and we're going to be talking today about why the LEP 6000 is the best printer in the DTF industry, bar none. I'm not at the shop today. We're actually in a very, very rough storm outside. We're covered in snow. And I wanted to finish where we were last night. And in continuing the video that was put up last night on the best DTF printer in the earth or in America, we simply understand and we know the number one answer to the number one question everybody's asking in the printing world. And of course, you have people that are importing printers from China, and they're importing printers from, here and there. You have companies like Kingdom DTF that's importing, um, dual print heads printers from Indonesia, and they're nightmares to deal with, right? And then you have companies like DTF Superstore that are importing in Oddly printers, and then they discontinue the Oddly printers and then say, hey, we're still going to carry the parts because we've sold so many out there. And what people don't understand is that these 2 and 3 head printers can be nightmares. And, you may get them printing for a short time, but they all crash and they crash hard. And there's limitations to the Chinese printers versus the printers we have. And we feel that the LEP 6000 printers are by far the most capable printers in the industry. And of course, we're going to go take a look at a lot of the printers. So let's go ahead and see here. Here you got a guy that I thought this was kind of funny. What's my YouTube like and stuff. You got a guy right here selling his L1800 because he's realized that, like I did, that, these small desktop printers can be nightmares. And they are, man. I literally almost, gave up on these little desktop printers. I was selling a bunch of P600 printers, and I started watching how nearly every single one of those P600 DTF printers I sold were starting to break down. Heads were blowing, the motherboards being fried because they just can't handle that 30, 40, 50, 60 transfers, every 3 hours. They can't do it. They're not made to print nonstop. So we're going to look at some very, very cool videos on some of these printers. And, the sad thing is that there's really only one channel out there who's telling the truth about these printers and these Chinese printers that they all break down. And everybody's rushing to get these printers because they look like they're fast, and they are fast, but everyone that has one of these printers, man, has massive problems. The print heads blow. Not only do you have to worry about, aligning 2 and 3, print heads so that the color, the white, is aligned perfectly, like this. And then what happens is, as you use these printers, the print heads begin to misalign. And as they misalign, you're constantly trying to adjust the print head. And if you've ever had a printer, you have to adjust the print head. So the last thing that I said last night is that you can make money with an Oddly printer, but you're going to spend all the profit that you make in hiring a service person or a technician to maintain the printer. And then at that point, what do? You're losing money left and right. And if these printers were so damn good, these Oddlies and some of these Asian printers, well, they never stopped carrying them in the United States. But DTF Superstore discontinued the Oddly printer. And I think that's a wise choice, right? So then you have people you know, that are in the DTF world, and they've been running a small Epson P600, and you know, they think they've got the hang of this, and so they're like, okay, I'm going to go order an Audley printer, and so they get the Audley printer, and man, they do not understand what a nightmare they're in for. And there's very few people that can keep a two-head printer operating correctly, and then you start adding a third head and then a fourth print head. And now you've got to align print head number 2 to print head number 1. Once you get print head number 2 aligned to print head number 1, now you've got to align print head number 3 to print head number 2, and then print head number 4 to print head number 3, and make sure it's aligned with print head number 2, because one prints white, the other's print color. Talk about a nightmare. I am openly, willingly, and professional enough to admit I can't handle those. I would not be able to maintain a 4-head print system, a 3-head print system, much less, you know, what I want to screw around with a 2-headed printer. And you all know out there, my number one thing that I tell everybody is stop buying from China. Stop fueling the dragon. And of course, nobody wants to stop fueling the dragon. I'm going to look something up that I was watching earlier. And, you know, people's Chinese DTF printers crashing, their DTF printers becoming out of alignment. So many things that go wrong with these printers. You know, it takes a literal genius that knows how to run a printer to control 4 heads. And, you know, it can be done. It's just a hell of a lot of work, you know. And so people, listen, man, there are people out there that have blown their print heads on an Epson, what are they called, 4900 and a 5000, and they think that they're going to go and get a cold desi printer and they're going to keep that thing printing because, oh, there's a warranty, you know. They'll come out and repair it for me. That's all the reason not to buy that printer. I say all the time, if you can't repair your own printer, buy transfers. It's that simple. Literally, nobody, I think, in this industry is going to shoot as straight with you as I am. I want you to understand the problems of these printers, and we'll take a look at a lot of the value that's perceived of competing printers, and then we'll come back to our LEP 6000 printer and why we feel it's literally the finest and most capable printer out there. Let's take a look at one of the newest printers out there, and this is the STS Muto Value Jet, right? It's selling right now for $19,000. 180 nozzles, 6 channels. Did you know that that's the same as a Epson L1800? I think it has, I think, for instance, it does have, let's take a look, Epson L1800 specifications. So we're going to look up the specifications of this printer and wait for it to pull up, and then we just want to look. It's an A3 printer, obviously. I think that for a fact it has 180 nozzles. Oh my gosh. The L1800 that everybody's buying only has 90 nozzles, okay? So, you know, you want to wonder why that printer is so slow. Well, there's your problem. The L1800 is 90 nozzles, 6 channels, okay? The print head for the Muto Value Jet, and I think where we find this out, hold on, I'll take a look at this, is at this site here. And then we're going to go to DTF Printing, DTF Equipment, and we're going to take a look at what they sell. And then we want to go look at the specifications of this printer. And of course they hide it from us because they don't want us to see the... So we're now at a seller of this printer here, and of course you can't see it. I mean, they keep it small for a reason. So let's see if we just can't enlarge the page maybe and see if we can get a better view of that. They do this for a reason, and the reason is they don't want you to see what the specifications are of this printer. And what I'm looking for is the number of nozzles. Let's see if we can do this here, because they have it so small that maybe they're not going to tell us. 180 nozzles, so that, I was right about that. 180 nozzles by 6 channels, okay? And then the problem that you run into with this printer is this printer sells right at $10,000. And at $10,000, it's not including delivery, you know, and all the fancy setup that you got to have. So now we're just going to go and look and see what the hell I did with my other page. It's right here, I think. And we're going to just drop down. I thought I had that page open. It just must have disappeared. Maybe it's this one here. No? Where the heck did it go? Like I just changed page and my whole YouTube page just kind of... I thought I had another one open. Hold on just a second. Let me see where the hell this went. Wow, so let's go. See if we can pull this up on a video somewhere, and it should... Oh, right here. So this is what a $20,000 printer prints at, okay? And why, again, we feel that these are the best. We have the best DTF printers. So this is a Muto ValueJet 628. The reason they started the video halfway through is because they don't want you to see how long it's going to take you to print a very small graphic. Obviously, that's 24 inches, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So, you know, it's probably 5-inch images, 4.5. And just look how long that's taking to print. So, it would be double the time we've been watching. And people are out there spending $20,000 on this printer. I can't believe it. Because I sell STS inks, you know, I have to market the product. So the way to figure this out, right? We know we're at 101. We started printing that. Let's back up and figure out how long it's going to take us to print this because... All right, so there's the start of the second line right there at 42 seconds. So we can come over here, and now we're at 154, and we're still printing. 46 seconds. You guys get the point? 46 seconds you started printing. Going into 2 minutes, and you're not even done with those images. Making this one of the slowest printers in the nation. It is, in fact, the speed of an L1800. It's faster than L1800. So let's go to cancel. Now we're going to look at some other printers here in just a moment. You can go watch that on Muto DTF and just see how slow that printer is. It's hard to start off from where I was last night, and you guys have any questions, you can chime in. Probably not flip flop. I don't, I'm not a flat earther. So, like, I hate to get into this on business comments, but I was utterly refuted and I can never go back. The math shown to me proves that curvature exists. And it's going to be hard for people to grasp that. But, quit wasting your time on that stuff, man. Take up a trade, go learn something, make some money while you have the time, and focus on your family and not, a fringe conspiracy theory or something. Um, you know, the the benefit to having, I am thankful though, flip flop, because flat earth in that whole ideology. So I knew before I was a flat earther that NASA lies. I mean, all government agencies lie. They have to lie. But just because NASA's lying doesn't make the earth flat. And you have to grasp that. And so, flat earthers, they don't have a workable map. There's no workable map of the stars above. They can't account for things like the Gegenschein. They can't account for the counter rotation of the star trails. They can't account for why the moon's upside down in Australia and so many other things. It really makes sense. The illumination of sunlight under the clouds, cannot be explained. There's just refutation after refutation after refutation of the reasons that we cannot live on a flat earth. So you just have to admit that, you kind of got duped. And it's the way it goes, man. So they distract you and you keep you all bummed out on that. But the good thing is, man, is that I learned how to become a printer because of a fringe conspiracy theorist and theory, I should say. And thankfully, today we have the best DTF printers in America, easiest to run, and well, yeah, so you can see far away, but it's not because the earth is flat. Light bends upward. And what's happening is everything is inclining in all directions. And that's why we say we live in a cellular earth. And that's why airplanes fly nose up, because when they're flying and they're level with the zenith above us, right? So airplanes don't fly nose down, they fly nose up. They're keeping level. And people will say, oh no, levels because they're flying flat like this. Yeah, good try, man. So I don't want to get into that. I do have another video of Confessions of a Former Flat Earther. You can go watch, please share it, and really delve into it. In this case, we are pointing out why these American-made printers we have and American-engineered printers we have are Epson's finest printers in America, right? They're the most intelligent. They can clean on periodic cycles whenever you want. They have intelligent cleaning cycles that allow the printers to keep themselves clean. They're easy to use. Any serviceman in the country can run these printers. I say this all the time, that they have 360 nozzles. We have 8 or 10 channel printers. And for the price point that we have them at right now, my wife has them listed until the 15th for $13,000, and then they're going to increase up to $17,000. And there's a reason we just can't get any more. We cannot get any more of these printers. Nobody can. You may be able to find 1 or 2 on eBay if you're lucky, but I'm not servicing 1 or 2 people, right? I mean, we've got 63 printers out there in the market of these large format printers. Maybe we have more printers out there than DTF Superstore. I don't know. But one thing that I can say is, out of all 63 of our printers that we have in the market, and you've seen us go to every single place on this channel, and some that don't want us to record, they're like, Ernest, we don't want to promote your business or your wife's business right now until we get a handle on this. But the ones that do, they have workable printers. Every one of these customers that we have sold that have an average of $12,500 that my wife charges are are working. And you can't say that for the average Asian printer that's out there. They break down, man. The people cannot run. It's easy if you can get the print heads aligned the first time. Send a technician out, they come visit, they get the print heads aligned, you're able to go print, and then all of a sudden they get out of alignment, your prints aren't lining up, and then you need a print service person, so you have to ship the printer back to wherever you bought it from, or have the service technician call in. And you know, the problem with these Asian printers is that it's going to take a level of support person to stay on the clock and support the customers that you've sold. And the problem that you run into with that is that's an average of $4,000 a month to pay somebody. What I drop? Oh, I dropped my because that's about the living wage of a technician is $4,000, you know, per month. And the benefit is that you don't have to have that with the LEP 6000 printers, the live event printers. You don't need a technician. Everything can be simply repaired by you if you can read a manual. We have warranties that allow us, especially if you're in the New England area, then I can just drive over, repair your printer, or send my technician out and repair your printer, and you're off and running. I want to show you something, right? There's a lot of people out there, and this is what's happening, right? Right now, I'm being attacked by a lot of DTF companies and a lot of DTG companies who sell Epson F2100s. And they're afraid of another Epson printer coming out and destroying their market. Let's take a look at one company that I believe has ripped people off to an extreme amount. And that's this company right here. It's Omni 330TX. You know, and the Omni printers, this will blow your mind. A lot of you already have these things. You know, the year of the award, 2016, and all these so-called awards, right? All this printer is right here.
But the FreeJet 330TX Plus can successfully print on 100% light and dark polyester, a feat that no other DTG printer has accomplished. This process
that's bullshit.
This is achieved by implementing Gamut Plus inks. These groundbreaking detail design, dark and light Gamut Plus bulk ink refill your system, which complete inks are throughout the day.
Just trying to get a look inside the internal of the printer.
Cutting-edge lasers, wet caps high, drastically reducing the risk of issues involving print height. The wet cap system equipped in the printer prevents the print head from drying or clogging, allowing...
All right, while we're on a live, okay, I'll give somebody a free transfer, 13 by 19 transfer, if you can tell me while we're live what printer this is. A lot of you who've been in DTF have found this printer and you've begun to DTF with it. It should look very familiar. This is the drum roll. Do we have anybody coming up with an idea? No. This is an Epson 2400, R2400. So let's take a look at why anybody would spend $20,000 on this 330 when it's nothing but an Epson R2400. And we'll go DTF. And that is the same printer as the Omni. I'll pull this up, hold on.
Dealing with the clutter. Setting the print height manually is a thing of the past with the new fully automated print height adjustment.
I just missed that, but we can come right here. All right. And then once you see the internals of this printer, Now, so we all know the price of the Omni 330TX runs about $20,000. I think time to make something, let's see, time to make something. I don't know who this guy is, right? I just see him every now and then. And we're going to take a look at a video that he just did right here. And he's talking about this guy here that spent $20,000 or so on his printer. And he's got 4 of them, so he spent what, $60,000 to $80,000. So, right here you got this guy printing with an Omni 330TX, and it's a fucking R2400. You can pick these things up for like anywhere from $200 to $400 on Facebook or Marketplace. And, you know, these are the same damn printers. And this guy has to spray down his film, but this guy doesn't. This guy can print a higher quality image than this guy can, because one is using DTF. One, he has to put water down under his, you know, film to make the platen stick. And, you know, once you're able to look at it and see that the printers are very similar. Let's go back there. Here he's powdering his little transfer. And he's curing it. And he spent $20,000 on this printer. I think the guy admits what he spent on this right around here.
Learning the pressure, it was just a learning curve. You have to do high pressure when you press.
The thing to think about if you do end up wanting to buy this type of setup is you can have that versatility. But
both. So 20 shirts, print press it and set it aside, press it, set it aside, and then after I'm done with all of them, like come and peel them all off. Whereas before you're like pressing it, peeling it, setting it aside. It's just I prefer to let them
productivity thing.
Yeah, peel them all off at the same time, and it's so satisfying to peel them off.
Do you ever, like when you were peeling, is it difficult? Did you ever lose any? Did you have?
A must. The umbrellas I do at 220.
Because
these
were asleep.
She might.
The direct-to-film. He's amazing.
Bear with me. I'm trying to get to how much he paid.
Spot on his way. So, like, plus he screwed up one. So, a little look.
Have you heard of Coldesi's new direct-to-film printer? It can print hundreds of t-shirt transfers in minutes.
Because now at this point we're just hanging out after the original film. And he bought this whole direct-to-film setup for about $100. First thing that he did some shirts where it was a front, a back, and a sleeve. Sets for the sheet. Does not look like it.
But
video before get the direct-to-film.
Anyways, everybody, somewhere in this guy's video, he tells us what he paid. And I don't recall if it is... let me just get out of here. Hold on. Let's hit pause. And what we want to do is just see if we can find this guy. Because he says he paid $20,000
would go and
for
the
one of
shirt
these
would hang down in the slug. So, sure, if it's last minute, I type ink and I'll throw it.
Only replaced
Hobby section of pre-treatment that didn't wash out or something.
There's a layer of white, that one that's down, that's sticky.
So I got the second one. I got like a kit as well that came
right
with
here.
the printer and then the second heat press.
Got it.
And then I bought the third one just as its own heat press.
How much was your initial bundle with the printer, the pre-treat, the heat press, and the rip. How much?
It was right about 28,000.
Okay.
Okay. Did you guys hear that? He fucking spent $28,000 on an Epson R2400. You've got to be effing kidding me, because let's take a look at something, right? Epson R2400. Wait until you see the specs of this printer, right? So let's go to the R2400. And, you know, it's good that we can have this talk, because having this talk lets you know, don't buy a fucking DTG printer, right? The problem with DTG printers is that you're limited to cut sheets. When you're in a production environment like I get into, to where we're printing 100-200 transfers, you want to be able to print on a roll of film and walk away. And you can do that with an LEP 6000 printer. And I believe this one is going to be 180 nozzles, but I could be wrong. Let's go ahead and Control F and look nozzles. 180 nozzles right there. So 180 nozzles and a total of 1,440 nozzles spraying 3.5 picoliter droplets. $28,000. We already know that the heat press that he has, a Hotronix, runs $1,500. So let's take away, then we're at $26,500. The pre-treat machine's another $1,500 to $2,000, right? So let's just round off that he paid $23,000 for a fucking rebuilt Epson R2400. That's insane that this company is still out selling these printers, and yet people are buying them when they could just go buy. And let's take a look, if we were to just do Epson R2400 sale. Now let's see what these come up with. So you can pick these up. Epson R. You can pick these up. This is going to blow your mind, right? Why in the hell would I spend $24,000 when I can go DTF with this printer right here, Epson R2400, $500? Why would I spend $24,000 on that printer when I can go get this one? And whether or not they have that, I don't know. A lot of times, you know, companies list these and they're out of production. So these are going to, yeah, these are all out of, the only place you're going to be able to pick these up right here is eBay. And then you don't even know at that point if it's going to work when you get there. To my attack. So, you know, come on, guys. You know, when you look at what I'm offering, which I've gone over in my videos, why these printers are literally what we consider the best printers for DTF in America, you know, it's a like a no-brainer. And then you take a look at what you can do with this printer. You don't need to pre-treat with the LEP 6000. They're ready to go. There's no extensive setup like the Chinese printers, where an oddly takes you 6 hours to a week to set up. And that's just to get the print heads aligned, everything connected, and they're going to lose alignment. It's inarguable. Those printers are going to lose alignment. These printers here, the LEP 6000s, everybody, and you can see them on the website, and you can see them in production. These printers, they don't lose alignment unless you purposely go into the menu and start messing with the alignment. $28,000 that guy just spent on those damn Omni 330s, and those are imported from China, so they're actually not using you know, those printers are all modified and imported from China. And so how the hell do you know if you're even getting a brand new print head or not? You know, you don't. So that's why we take a look at this printer. And let me tell you something, man. I've been at the conventions, you know, at the DAX show and all these conventions, and I look at when we're set up and we're running at these conventions, and you've got people there with Brother 330 or Brother GTX printers, Epson F2100s. They're looking at me, man, and they want to fucking choke my neck because I'm coming in with the most capable and most um, advanced printer that can be used for DTF in America. There is not another Chinese printer more intelligent than these printers. This has already been proven. Um, these printers have the capacity to just print nonstop with little or no human involvement. The resolution of this printer can print at 2880 by 1440. The Chinese printers can only max out at 2, 4, 6, and 8 pass, which is 720 by 720 resolution. Unless something's changed in the motherboard and they've made all these, you know, changes. But then you think about, you know, one to run these Chinese printers like the Mongoose or the Oddly printer or the Coldesi printer, you have to have 220 volts running into your business. So therefore, you up your cost on yourself by having one of those printers. They're printing, I think Andy says they print 11 by 11 transfers. You can print 20 of those in an hour. With this printer here, at the highest resolution, you can print 20 to 25 12 by 12 transfers in 1 hour. On my channel above, I printed two 12-inch transfers, right? Because this printer allows you to print, our printer allows you to print borderless. You can literally cross the whole freaking roll of 24-inch film or 23.75-inch film. We printed two of my Boston 1 hour logos like what I'm wearing here. We printed, these are 12-inch circles, and we printed two of them in roughly 3 minutes, 10 seconds at 2880 by 1440. How fast would I have printed if I dropped down to 720 by 720 and changed my dot size to medium to large on a mix? I'd be printing just as fast as an Asian printer. So if we're able to print at these speeds and we're able to use a printer that was owned by Epson America, they've come out of Epson America's refurbished house. So when I bring you a printer, you know, these printers have been refurbished by Epson's refurbishing department. And then I have my own technician that works at our company. My wife hired him at the rate of something like $4,000 a month and living wage. And the guy's just able to, you know, work on the printers while I'm traveling the country. And the printers, every single one of the 63 printers are working today unless somebody turned off the printer, released the ink, and shut it down. Every one of the printers are printing. I have people that I've sold a printer to back in 2021, like in April of 2021, who haven't even talked to me. And every now and then, hey, Ernest, I just need a refill of ink. I got you, brother. I'll send it on out to you. And so, in my opinion, if you have an Epson R2400 that's selling at $24,000, if you have an Epson DTG F2100 and you have to tape your film down, do all this crazy crap, and those things are $15,900, then it just assumes to me that if I can print on a roll and I can do shoulder shots on that with no problem, I can do all over printing because we have 44-inch, 8 and 10 channel printers, and that just gives me the availability at that point to have a far more capable printer and a printer that's going to run faster. So 360 nozzles, twice the speed of any 180 nozzle printer. The Asian printers like the Oddlies, the Mongooses, they use 3200 print heads and I-4700 print heads. Those are 400 nozzles, and those printers are selling in the market for, 15 to 25,000. And as you guys have seen, my wife has never had any ambition or reason to want to rip a person off. And so when we first started selling these printers, if you're one of the lucky ones, right, you got those printers for $2,500 because she's like, Ernest, you got 150. We just need to make our money back. Okay, so we went out and sold a bunch of them. And Rem, I do have starter DTF packages. Let me read what you just said. Sorry. Hey, bro, that 3880 is one of the best DTF printers that there are, right? And as far as in the 180 nozzle, section of printers. The 3880 is an epic printer. I used one. I printed over 4,000 to 5,000 transfers on a 3880. The only negative of the 3880 is that it doesn't have a roll feeder, and it prints, I think, at a limit of 10 feet long. But it's a great printer. So, as far as startup packages, really can't tell you anything more than you saying, Rem God, hey, what's up, Brother E? I know this is sort of off, but do you sell transfer DTF packages or starters? Sorry, starter DTF. I only have a printer 3880. I'm from Boston, so I'd like to. Hey, dude, if you're from Boston, come by the store, man. Come hang out with me. Let's burn one together, man. Let's talk printing and let's show you why you should. I have an incredible leasing program that if you're in the Boston or New England area and you have a storefront, I'll put one of these in your business for a cash down amount. My wife wants a monthly amount after that. We service a printer for you. Dude, you just have to do nothing but print. You print my transfers when I need them. And that's a perfect opportunity for somebody with a storefront in the Boston market. You can go look at the company Susie Art that's on my wall. They've got one of these in their printer, and man, it is flawless. These printers don't have the problem that a 3880 or P800 do, because these printers have what's called a spit box. As a printer's going, it doesn't need to stop, and as it's moving and it gets across the spit box, it can just drop the excess ink down and keep going, right? The capability for the printer to stop if you need to and clean, which you rarely ever do, is there. The maintenance on these printers is you get up, shake your inks, run a cleaning, get a nozzle check, and continue to print. You print all day long, and right before you're about to go home, you run a cleaning. We used to tell everybody to clean the dampers, clean the capping station, wet cap it. But now our service technician is telling us don't do that anymore because you start to warp the capping station. The rubber around the capping station, it shouldn't be touched. All you have to do is clean the wiper, which it's a snap out wiper. I have a video in my channel that explains how to do it. And that's all you got to do once a week. Maybe you just need to go in there and clean the capping station. And that's how simple it is to use these printers. They don't have the problem like the Asian printers. You got to go in and start digging around the capping station, checking all the electrical components. If anything's going to fail on these printers, it's going to be the cartridges, because the cartridges are not OEM cartridges. And I know that a lot, these desktop printers, when DTF came out, I was DTF printing before DTF Superstore got on this, before Kingdom DTF got on this, long before anybody in the country was, there. I have messages I can show you. Hey, Andy, at DTF Superstore, dude, look into DTF, check it out. No, man, I'm not ready. I'm still selling DTG printers, converting Epson P600s. And I'm like, dude, DTG is dead. And he's like, yeah, Ernest, I don't believe you. And now what's he doing? He's proven that DTG is dead. And, I can show people these messages. We're friends. And, of course, obviously, every time I sell one of these, I take customers from him. And I don't care if he sells Asian printers, Oddly printers, to people. They're going to come back to me. They're going to go to McLeod because we have the best DTF printers that can be used in the nation, and people know it. They know it. And the difference is they understand the capability of these printers. They are the most intelligent printers that have ever been made in the market for photographic printing. So, now that the people are really kind of shot because he's not carrying the Oddly printers anymore, but he's carrying the parts. That tells you something, man. It tells you that the printers are very hard to maintain. They're very hard to keep going. And, based on that, I don't care if somebody comes back and, like I said, they don't have, I've got nowhere to go because I'm going to be here for a long time, like it or not. So when we take here, let's go to broken China DTF and see what we can get here. Here's an industrial DTF two-headed printer. We'll just take a look at this. This is from a company called Focus Incorporated. No idea who they are. So we just go over here and look.
To protect your finger. But don't matter. Don't worry about it. The DTG ink is not UV. The webs. So after we clean for each burst cap station, the top of the cap station will not be dry.
See, we don't have to do that with our printers because the printers have a built-in self-cleaning that will allow the printer to keep itself clean.
And you must do this maintenance job every day after you print. It's very important. And you must keep the machine clean and remove everything from the table.
What a nightmare. Double print heads. There's a video where Kingdom DTF can't get a one of these dual heads going. But let's see if we can go to McLeod. Let's click McLeod Technology because he tells you something really, really good in one of his videos. And it's called, do you want to be servicing a printer, maintaining a printer, or do you want to be printing? And I can appreciate that because, we want to be able to print. And let's see where his channel, this video is. I think there's an Asian printer over here that he's got this guy in California or somewhere with. And let's see if I can find it back here. Maybe it's this one right here. Let's open that one in a new tab and see if that's going to be it.
Whoa.
That's not it. Okay, hold on. We'll get this found here in just a second. Man, it's a Chinese guy that or like a Brazilian guy that he's talking to, and I just forget where the hell it's at. I think it's right here.
Multiplier. They recycle. So excited with their new baby. It's big. They have all these machines. This is the cutter here. And there's a UV printer over there, the violet one. See? So guys, this is Jan again.
All right, so here's a Chinese printer, very much like an Oddly printer, and it's broken. And here he's got an old 7880. And the 7880 is outperforming the Chinese printer because the Chinese printer broke down. So that's what they all do. And there's another video in here that's very, very revealing. And it's back when I sold a bunch of Epson P600s to McLeod. I just want to go up here. I've literally sold printers to every company out there in the DTF world. And I'm just trying to find this one video. It's going to make a lot of sense. Yeah, man, I got a ton of supplies, dude. If you want to just come hang out with supplies and get supplies and burn a few joints, come on over. Yeah, see, these are all the printer. These are all of my old P600s he has right here. Once I realized that the P600s were problematic, I got rid of them. It's just like everybody that I sold one of those printers to, they started breaking their printers. Man, I don't know where this video is, but I wish I could find it. And maybe I will. This guy names his videos, you know, just kind of weird, you know? Anyways, I may not be able to find it. Maybe it's this one right here. Yeah, right here, look.
This is Laser Pecker, the world's smallest smart portable laser engraver. Start from scratch.
Laser Pecker.
Hello, this is John McLeod from McLeod Technology, and today we're having one customer here who invests on Chinese printers. So they've been running this for a long time, and for the last how many months, Brian?
It didn't work at all.
It doesn't work at all. So this is Brian. He's the owner of this printer.
Day one, I bought it. It came in, didn't work. Couldn't get it fixed.
The technician cannot fix it out already.
So I went with a McLeod. So the McLeod's working. It's printing. We're waiting until it gets a little longer, and then we'll put it in the.
All right, so you can already see anytime you get, hey, there's me on this guy's channel. Anytime that you get involved with these Asian printers, you need a very complicated technician to run the printers. And that's what people aren't thinking about, you know. It's this video right here.
Okay. So
Thank you for the China. We ordered around 3 months ago. We tried to run this machine. It takes, around 1 month for the adjustment, alignment, and then for the inks, everything settings.
All right, did you hear that? He just said it takes 1 month to align the print head. That's on all these printers. That's why when DTF Superstore, Andy sells those oddlies, it takes 6 hours to a week to align the print heads. And it's not only the alignment of the print heads the first time, you have to keep them aligned. If one small screw in the base of the capping station, or there's also a height screw that you have to change for the height of the print head. If that thing starts to slip, you can't print. And that's what's going to happen to the majority of the people that own these Chinese printers. And they're going to run into downtime production. What I think has happened is that DTF Superstore has spent so much time with his 4 or 5 technicians, servicing the printers, that he just found out it's not worth it. And so he dropped the Oddly brand, though he's still got a couple. And because somebody told me in their Facebook group, Ernest, man, Andy just announced that he's discontinuing the DTF Oddly printers, and due to the problems that they were having. And I mean, I know people, like I mentioned his name earlier, Dennis Moon. He's like, dude, Oddly printers are not good printers. And, so this guy was probably highly qualified to run this printer, right? And let's keep watching him.
There's a 2 Hz application, and then this was failed, and then the board is burned out, and then it doesn't work anymore. They sent another board, but it's so complicated, and then we can't do good communication with the Chinese guys. But right now it doesn't work anymore, and it takes out space. It's so hard to operation for the Chinese guys.
This is the experience. So go back here. So by the way, the business overall is accepting orders online. We are selling transfers or just shirts.
Yeah, we are putting on the it's thank you for the setup. Really appreciate it. They have Etsy online shop.
So, you know, like I told you, and you can go back on my wall and or on my channel here, and you can see us setting up world-class companies, right? And we tell these people, listen, man, you are going to have to pay somebody $50,000 a year just to run that printer, which cuts into your profit. If you get an LEP 6000 24-inch or a 44-inch DTF printer, a high school kid can run them. That's how simple they are. They are the most intelligent printer in the world. They give us the availability to print without even being there. You can load your film in, keep your printer turned on. You can access your computer through a remote if you don't have to be there, and you can just start printing. And the sheet will run through the roller. I could send off prints right now at my shop from where I am, and I can watch everything I'm doing. Why then would I want to buy a Chinese printer? So everybody says, oh, Ernest, they're really, really fast. Yeah, our printers are really fast too. If you drop them down to 720 by 720 and change your mix size, we're just as fast. They're 360 nozzle print heads. They're 400 print heads, and we have 360 nozzle print heads. And we're in 720 just as fast with one print head, and here they're killing themselves with 3 print heads and 4 print heads. So what's going to happen to all these people is they're going to sell a shitload of transfers, right? And then their machine's going to break down, and then they're not going to be able to get it repaired. Eventually, their warranty is going to be out. Do you know what the best part about the LEP 6000s? We have a warranty option for $3,000. Paul, will come out. We'll repair the printer if you're in the New England area and get you back up and running again. Or a service technician in the United States can service your printer and get you up and running that fast. You know why? Because these are the best DTF printers in the world. And I keep telling people this again and again and again, and nobody believes me except the ones who own the printers. The ones who have these printers going, they're like, hey, you want a Chinese printer? No, man, I'll order another LEP 6000 printer. I have places in that are doing 5 printers at one time, and they're running them from one computer, just shooting off the transfers, right? We know for a fact we can print 2 12-inch transfers in 3 minutes, and that's at 2880 by 1440. 2 12-inch transfers. I sell those transfers, you know, when I do my transfers that are 12-inch, I think my transfers are something like $9. That's $18 every 3 minutes. So let's take a look at something, right? Because we want to factor this out. And I think that where you can see the speed of the printer printing transfers is if we go to my library and then we drop down to your videos. And what we want to check out is a video where I'm printing these 2 transfers, and I believe it's right here maybe.
Bring your business online and start selling with Shopify, the e-commerce platform that's trusted by over...
Change the layout of this. All right, these are... Made it a little more vibrant. It sure did. I can... So we start at 30. And we're done. We're done in 2 minutes and 30 seconds with 2 12-inch transfers. 2 12-inch transfers printed in 2 minutes, 40 seconds. Okay? 2 minutes, 40 seconds, we were able to print 2 12-inch transfers. Now, let's look at something here. So that means every 2 minutes, 40 seconds, I'm just going to round this up to 2 transfers every 3 minutes. So we're going to go 2 transfers times 3 minutes times 20. That's going to be 40 transfers times $8.50. I believe that's what my transfer fee is. So I go down over here, I click transfers, and we want to go look for 12-inch transfers. And we're going to use A3 plus size. So 1350, which, you know, those of you out there can push those at $8 or $9 a pop. So you got 8 times 2. And, oops, sorry, we got 8 times 2, which is 16 times 20 per hour times 5 hours a day, $1,600. If you're running that printer 5 hours a day times 5 times 4, that printer has a capacity to make you $3,200 just printing 5 hours a day. And I have customers that literally print from the moment that they walk into their shop, 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning, until 5 or 6 o'clock. They're printing transfers, tearing it up on Etsy store, killing it. And they have the potential to make $32,000. Dude, you cannot do that with an Omni printer. You cannot do that with an Epson F2100. You can't do that with a Ricoh R, what are they called? Ricoh R, R2D2. You know, you just can't do that, right? These printers, and I have people that just print and print and print. I have people that have turned off 2 print head or 2 of the channels in their print head. And instead of running 8 channels, they're running 6 channels, and the 2 are reserved. And the capability of these printers, these LEP 6000 printers, is that they are so intelligent. These printers are so intelligent that working with 2 of the channels turned off, I even have a guy that has 3 channels, channel 6, 7, 8 turned off, and he's running one white channel, total of 5 channels, and the printer does not slow down. So that goes on to tell you just how wonderful these printers are. And it's not me, you know, trying to blow smoke up your ass, you know. You got people out there that get so pissed off and they're like, oh man, you know, Brother Ernest has no fucking clue what he's talking about, you know. And I'm like, you claim I have no clue what I'm talking about, but you can't even fix your own fucking Epson P600 printer. Yo, dude, come on. Really? So, just like, let's look at this one right here, you know. We're going to print this nickel. By the way, I printed this nickel at 2880 resolution, balls to the wall resolution. What the hell is this? Is that me? No. Let's get over this commercial here. Skip the ad, and let's just take a look at what we're doing. 2880, so we're going to start right there. That's at what time point? 2203. And I think we're done right here. Oh, I started another print. Gotcha. 2203. So right there, 2203. That's 3 minutes in. Right here, we're done with this graphic. And take a look. 2880 by 1440 resolution. That's what and I've got another one printing above it. So, you know, you take that resolution. There are no DTF printers from China that print at 2880 by 1440 resolution. What does it matter? I want to print photos of people. That's what it matters. I want to print the highest resolution photos possible because I love it. I love to print that high. Now, right? So this is a real production life screen printing shop. You know, printing. They got 3 of these stations, man, and they're just working around the clock. And, you know, the benefit is that, look at these prints. Look at those prints, man. That is in 2880 by 1440 resolution. Now, the Chinese printers would have to print that at 720 by 720 resolution, but you're not going to catch all the blue in there. You're not going to catch the high definition parts of the image that you want. It just can't be done, man. If I were to drop this printer down to 720 by 720 resolution, that probably would have taken me around a minute to print. So, beyond that, these guys do a phenomenal job, an incredible heartbeat of a company. And, the benefit is that these LEP 6000 printers, they're incredible for a company just like them. And if you're a screen printing shop somewhere in New England and you're set up like that and you're thinking about buying a direct to garment printer, don't do it. Give me a call. I and my staff and my technician can come out. I can have you set up with one of these printers. In 3 cleanings, you can be ready to start printing and you can be ready to make that money. So even if you had to print one transfer every 4 minutes that are 12 by 12s, big huge circles, um, you're still making money, right? So one transfer every 5 minutes. Look at how many 5 minutes are there in an hour. Start to figure it out, and you can make that money. And that's why I beg you, man, don't buy an Omni 330 TX. Don't listen to the fucking liars out there, okay? Don't listen to, let's type in, DTG printer Omni. It's like these guys are never going to hire me, right? So you got Reyes, he doesn't know any better, man. I mean, Reyes has a good channel. He's got a hustle, but dude has no fucking clue about the industry, man. No fucking clue about DTF or the process. These guys are reviewers, and reviewers a lot of times they don't know what the hell they're talking about. So let's go back and look what he was talking about over here, because I saw something in blue. I wonder what I was looking at. There it is. I mean, let's take a look at the time it takes to print this. So it looks like they already started printing. I mean, nonetheless, the guy's got to hustle, right? You got to respect the hustle. I think I looked, it took 8 minutes to print that. And if you'd have had DTF, if you'd had one of my Epson LEP 6000 printers, dude, trust me. Trust me, there's no doubt in my mind, everybody, that if DTF Superstore, this company here, Omni, if they could get the LEP 6000 printers from Epson, and they can't anymore, nobody can, I cannot even get anymore, they would be selling these, and they would have hundreds of customers without any issues. So when we first got these printers, and we put them on the market at like $2,250, dude, a bunch of people bought them. And then Epson started to charge us more. And so, okay, I've got to raise them up to $5,900. And we had them at $5,900. And then Epson came back and said, Ernest, we've got to charge you more. And what was happening is that they were realizing that there's a need for these printers. They started to get calls for them in China and other parts of the world where they wanted these printers. It just came, out of a major supply company. And I bought them all up. And it's actually kind of unique. What happened is that John and I bought these John Bong McLeod, we bought these printers the same freaking day. He bought like 150, I bought 97. And then I came back and bought more and bought more and bought more. But how it works is that, we were contacted, and they're like, we got 97 printers, do you want them? And I'm like, yeah. So they brought the first 20 to me, and I got those, and I turned around and sold those, at something like $2,600. I'm like, I'm not trying to make some money, man. I'm going to sell a bunch of ink, I'm going to sell a bunch of consumables. It didn't fucking happen. But, the Epson then comes back and says, hey, the next printers that, are in that order that you ordered, we're going to have to up your price, and we're going to have to up your price, and we're going to have to up your price. And today my price of these printers is so damn high that what can I do but look at my wife and tell her, you've got to raise the price of the printers. You can't work for free. And so, a lot of people are like, Ernest, you're scamming people. You're a con artist, Ernest. All these fucking people, man, that just, they see and they think, oh, I can get an R2400 on eBay for $500. Try to find one of these. Try to find one of these that are refurbished by Epson's warehouse. Try to find one of these where a technician has entirely certified this printer. You can't do it. I have the last remaining stock in the country. And people are fucking furious at John Bong McLeod and I. And we are not partners or nothing like that, right? We are just the people that jumped on the printers and the time is right at our time. So why would you fucking buy an Omni 330 TX for $20,000? Why would you buy an Epson F2100, right? I had 4 of those. Why would you buy one of those for $15,950 and you have to fucking spray the water down and then put your transfer sheet down, your film, and or tape it down? $15,000, dude. And you guys are buying that printer and you're buying the Omni today from this guy here, for $28,000, right? And you guys get pissed off at me because I'm selling one of the most capable and smartest printer for $10,000 and you're pissed. I look at my wife and say, babe, you cannot be doing what Ernest, I don't want to make money on the printers. I just want to recover my money. Well, yeah, but there's other things you've got to do, Heather. You've got to be able to make a profit in today's time. There's nothing wrong with making an honest profit. And before anybody got started in DTF in the United States of America, Kingdom DTF, DTF Superstore wasn't even existent when I was printing DTF. Kingdom DTF was still talking about DTF and I'm already printing. And all these companies that came later, right? I was looking at the value of the printers because I had the largest stock. I convinced my wife to buy the largest stock of Epson P600s in the country. I had more printers than DTF or Open DTG at that time. And more printers than, what's his name? I forget his name. Nico DTG. And so today I have the largest supply of the LEP 6000s in the country. I have 87 in one warehouse, and my wife has 35 in another warehouse. And then we have a plethora of 10-channel printers, making it the largest supply of 8 and 10-channel Epson DTF usable printers in the United States of America. Because part is an OCD. I just think to myself a lot of times, man, I like to add things in my life. What can I buy to get started with a DTF printer? Mark Diaz, that depends on your budget. You could buy an Epson R2400, the same printer that this guy's using right here, okay? The same printer that they've rebranded with the drop table, and that drop table really only costs them about $1,500. So, you can buy that we just looked at it a moment ago where somebody was DTF printing with that with an Epson R2400 DTF. And you're going to be faster than a Omni 330 TX. So Huselos, or however you say that is, his name. Here he's printing. That you can get started with that right there. And maybe you can find one of these in your backyard for $500. And then all you got to do is print with it. You don't have to take out the paper roller wheels. Everybody does it. I don't know what the hell they do that for. Learn how to print by lowering your ink levels, right? If you lower your ink density, you don't need to take the wheels off. Everybody's fucking doing that. And I've never done that. I don't need to do that. I tell people all the time, you don't need to take the wheels out of your P800 or 3880. But I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. I only printed 4,000 printers. What would that run me? I got a decent budget to work with. Yeah, that's an Epson R2400. Man, sometimes you can find those printers for $50. You can find those printers for $200, $500. You just got to do your due diligence and search for them online. Well, you know, here's another thing. Check it out. I just saw this occur. So as the printer's printing, it's building up ink on the print head, right? It's going to shoot all the way over here and drop the ink off, right? So that's what it's doing when it goes all the way over. It goes over and drops the ink off over there onto the capping state or the capping station, and then you know it's finished. It's dropping off ink into the waste tank, right? So you can buy one of those and get started, man. Now, does that mean you're gonna have an easy time? No. These desktop printers from the Epson 3880, 3800, P600, P800, the 1430, the Epson R1800, the Epson 2400, all of these printers, they do not have a spit box. They're very hard to maintain. The Epson L1800, which is not an American printer, it's made in China, shipped over here. They don't even sell it here in America because it's not Epson America. There's no spit box. And this is why those people that have the L1800s, they're printing, and then all of a sudden the dark ink contaminates the white dampers. And that's because there's nowhere for the ink to drop off. So these small desktop printers here are not made to print like we do with DTF transfers. They're made to print maybe 20 photos a day. And here we are as DTF transfer printers, and we're printing 50 transfers in a day nonstop, overworking the printer. And then all these people out there. If I could go through the list, you know, of all the people, if I do Epson DTF, and let's just look at it, right? You have to do nothing to that 3880 but put ink in it with OEM chips on your refillable cartridges. You don't have to take out your roller wheels, nothing. That printer is ready to print DTF when you take the Epson OEM chips off the cartridges and put them on your refillable cartridges. Please don't listen to people that tell you, oh, take out the roller wheels. You don't need to do it. Lower the ink levels and you're ready to go. Now, let's look at all the people over here printing with Epson DTF printers. I can guarantee you if the t-shirt chick's Epson's 1430 starts having problems or crashes on you, she's not going to know how to fix it. She's screwed, right? This is the guy right here that just got rid of his. He announced that he's quitting DTF. So there's all these people. Look, she's got a freaking 4900 that she blew the print head on. She can't even fix it. So what all these people are doing, because they're not qualified to repair these printers, right? They have a problem with their print head because they don't know what the fuck they're doing in the first place. They're just able to print transfers. They're able to clean. They're not able to diagnose issues. They're not able to repair the printer. So she's crying when her print head blows. Fucking replace it. It's 5 screws. You can't take 5 screws out of a print head and replace your print head. You've got problems. You don't need to be DTF printing. You need to be buying transfers. And that's why so many people are having problems with these L1800s and what have you. Because, to be quite honest, man, they are problematic nightmares of a printer. You know, and then you got this guy, the best, you know, this guy right here is doing his own hustle, you know, Kingdom DTF. But he's trying to give us advice on the best printers to start with. Dude, and you're telling people the best printer to start with is a fucking Epson L1800? Dude, you are nuts, man. Those are the worst printers to start with. The worst printers. Mark, hey, dude, good for you, man. That doesn't mean, right? So the good thing about $350, man. So if you want the right inks for that printer, go to liveeventprinting.com and click on inks and buy those inks. You only need 250 milliliters, right? You don't need a lot of ink for that printer that you've got there. So we're going to keep looking at here. The best printer to start, he's saying, is an Epson L1800. Bullshit, that is the worst printer to start with. This Kingdom DTF 2-headed night printer, there's so many people that have bought this printer and just cannot repair these printers. They're above his capacity to repair the printers. There's so many printers that you can get started with that make absolute sense. And this right here was the day I got in more printers. The second delivery of LEP 6000 printers. Nobody had a fucking clue at that time what I was doing, man. They were mocking me, laughing at me, and right under their noses, I brought in the best printers in the DTF industry, hands down. And you've seen it. I've proved it from people that own Chinese printers, and I have people that have owned printers that they have bought them from DTF Superstore, these Asian printers, and they've bought my LEP 6000s because they're like, dude, I just want to be able to print, Ernest. I don't want to fuck with maintaining a printer. I don't want to waste all the time it takes to get that printer going. I would love to be able to print 25 to 30 transfers per hour in 1440 by 1440 resolution. You know, I talked to this guy a while back, this guy here, Big Boy. And what I can tell you right here, man, dude, this guy's selling people printers, and when those damn things break down, I've had 3 people that have bought printers from him, and they've broken down and they've sent them into our shop, and we've repaired them. But half the people that are hustling these printers, they can't repair them. They just find a printer, just like Mark Diaz did. I found a 2400 printer for $350. Yeah, you can get it printing, but you're not going to keep it running. Can you make $350 on it? Absolutely. Absolutely you can. Because if you're selling shirts at 20 bucks, how many 20s does it take to make 350? And then plus your ink. You just got to break with $500. How many shirts does it take to do that? Not a lot. So it is without a doubt that the best printer in the DTF industry, and we have powder shakers that we can hook these things up to. And, here's a lady right here using a F2100. I used to have a bunch of these and got rid of them. So let's take a look over here what she's going to do. And what you have to do to keep these printers running is pretty much a nightmare. I wonder if she's going to print with it. There's my old machine right there. To me, it looks like it really looks like an Epson 4900 that they're using, or an Epson 5000. Same print head, same design. It just may be the same printer. 360 nozzles. It's hauling ass. But the problem is that with this printer, you can't print on a roll. So that's why I tell you our Epson LEP 6000 printers are far more capable than an Epson F2100 that honestly for DTG I love. They're really good printers for DTG. But in my opinion, DTG is nowhere near the comparison of DTF. And this is we're going to argue, and whatever. But, I know I had one, so... looking at all the printers, man, they're very, 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 very problematic. Because they're just simply not made to DTF to the level that we're doing. And so the cool thing about the LEP 6000 printers is the ability to super clean itself. As I said earlier, when you have our printer, you need to do a cleaning in the morning and do a cleaning at the end of the day to shut it down. You don't need to wet cap it. These printers have a spit box, and if you start getting into errors, then all you have to do is run cleaning, go do a power cleaning, and or you can go do a super cleaning, super strong cleaning. What did somebody just say? I'm sorry for not writing the website down. liveeventprinting.com. Let me see if I can respond back, if there's a way I can do that on the phone. Live chat, hide chat. I don't know how to do that. Go left. Can I click that and go report? Add as a moderator, cancel. I can't type to you. So liveeventprinting.com. I'll give you just a shot where we're at. And that's going to be right here. liveeventprinting.com. You can just go click on DTF supplies and drop down to DTF ink and get your inks. And again, we sell them at 500, 1 liter, and I'll go ahead and put in the 250 ml liters here in just a little bit. I forgot that there are people that do want, 250 milliliters. I'm used to the people that, have the LEP 6000s and those are 1 liter minimum on the ink. So hopefully I can steer you guys the correct way. And although I just want to say to those who do buy the Chinese printers and you get them going and you can keep them running, hats off to you. I wouldn't do it because of time required. Like that guy said, man, it took him 4 months to align the print head. You got 4 print heads going. Dude, the customers that buy these printers from DTF Superstore, Cold Desi, like I said, I got a guy buying a printer from Cold Desi, and he can't even get an Epson P800 head replaced. And I'm like, you're going to buy a printer for $25,000 and think you're going to be able to keep that printer running. You have to realize that your warranty is going to end in a year. And then what are you going to do? It's going to turn into a printer just like everybody else. It just sits on the side. And I think what a lot of companies are doing, they don't care if they spend $25,000. They know that they're going to make that back in a year or half of a year. And so once they've made their money back, they're like, hey, man, I've paid off. Or you keep buying more and more of these Chinese printers and they break down. There's no doubt these Chinese printers break down. I don't care what they are, whether they're Audleys, Mongooses, the Cold Desi units. They're gonna crash, man. And when they crash, please give me a call. We'll be right there to walk with you. And people will say things because they're trying to attack John and I because we're selling these printers. And again, we're not partners. And they're like, oh, Ernest is a scam artist. John's a scam artist. Well, first of all, no scam artist is going to let you pay through a convenient method of credit card to where your fee can be reversed because you get your little panties in a wad. And we're not going to do that because if we're scamming people, I'm going to tell you, yo, fool, send me a bank wire. My wife wants a bank wire. Once you get wired, you're done. There's no way to reverse a wire. We're not doing that to people, unless there's a convention method, you want to do a deposit or something like that on a printer, that we carry $5,000 deposit and you're going to get paid and pay this thing off in 2 weeks or so, or 3 weeks at maximum. We'll hold that deposit through a wire, a Zelle or something like that. And that's what we'll do for the wiring transfer of this. But other than that, we take the biggest risk as a seller. And it's very, very problematic because it's scary. But with an LEP 6000, I can rest my head in bed at night and know that I've sold somebody the best DTF printer in the world. And if they're lucky enough, I've got a guy in Philadelphia that's using one of my 44-inch printers, and now he has 2 44-inch printers, and he's killing it, man. You guys saw us deliver the printer right on this channel here. And so people just keep upgrading. They buy a printer, boom, they upgrade to another printer. And because they realize if they can figure out how to keep one printer running, which is very simple, right? So much simple. It's nothing compared to these L1800s, 3880s, P800s, Chinese printers. The problem is that the more you touch the internal rubber of the capping station, you can actually damage the capping station rubber by putting too much pressure on it. So we tell people just leave it alone and let the natural cleaning process clean it. So I need DTF adhesive powder. I have that in hand right now. DTF transfers to start now. Do I need AccuRip software? You will need AccuRip software. You cannot print from Corel, Photoshop, or Illustrator because there is no white management in Photoshop, Illustrator, or Corel. So you're going to need a RIP. Buy AccuRip 10.5 or higher so that I can support you. Because I will not support pirated versions. I can't. As an AccuRip master dealer, I can lose my vendorship. So you're going to need ink, film, and powder. And for your unit, I have all of each in my living room alone. I'll just show you. In my living room alone, right? This I keep because I have people that reach out to us from Framingham. So in my living room alone, you know, I have 25-pound bags of powder. I have all types of stock of ink here. I have five sets of stock of ink here, more at my shop. We have film here, and we have powder like this here. So we've got different types of powder, cold powder, hot peel powder. We have bags of powder laying around somewhere, entire bags of powder down there, which are all different types of powder, more powder right back here. This is hot peel powder right here. So we've got everything you need to get going. We really do. And we hope for those of you that are watching, if you were thinking about buying a DTF printer and getting an Asian printer, please listen to me. Don't do it, right? Don't do it. Either go to McLeod or go to myself and buy one of our printers. This is kind of what we're dealing with right now, a huge storm, and it's about to start up again. Buy one of our printers and get going, okay? Get printing. If you're in New England, reach out to me about our DTF leasing program. It'll blow your mind. You must have a storefront. You must be open for 2 years, and then we'll talk about the options. There is a cash down payment plus a monthly payment, but you do nothing. You just print. We come in, we service your printer, you know, smoke a few joints with you, and build a long-lasting relationship. On that note, teachers receive discounts, nurses receive discounts. My wife says that only Vietnam veterans will receive discounts because they are, like her father up here, a Vietnam veteran. That's all she wants to limit the discounts to. And so based on that, you know, we can get you started. We can get you going. I have rips on hand, 8 or 10 channel printers. The 10 channel printers are incredible. The 8 channel printers are phenomenal because you can run 2 whites and you can run your fluorescents in your channel 7 and channel 8. And when you're running those fluorescents plus your 2 whites, you have the most capable DTF printer in the United States of America. And for the price, you're not going to find a better priced printer with 360 nozzles and the capability and the intelligence of these printers. I've said enough. I've been on here for an hour and a half just rambling away talking. There's so much more that I'd love to get into, you know, but we are just... Okay, so Rem, that question right there is all dependent upon your level of knowledge of Photoshop, how to rasterize in Photoshop, how to color replace in Photoshop, how to change your dot sizes in Photoshop. AccuRip is a rip that allows you to print what you've already designed. If you want to be able to take an image like this cat right up here and change that cat, knock the black out, or replace the blue to green, yellow to, you know, red, then you want a very advanced rip that can do rasterization for you. CADLink is the way to go. And I'm an authorized dealer of CADLink, so it's for both, Mark. You can use the powder on dark shirts and you can use the powder on light shirts, okay? Just let me know. I want hot powder, cold powder. I want rubberized powder or non-rubberized powder. And we carry those in stock at my shop. I have black powder, you know. I've never really had to use black powder. I've actually on my own printing have never used black powder. I've never had dye migration issues. where other people have. So it's trial and error, man. It all depends on where you live. Where do you live, Mark? I'll wait for you to answer back if you can. Maybe you won't. All right. Anybody on that note, please reach out to me. Reach out to our support staff. Riverside. Oh, so you're in California, I take it. I used to live pretty close to Riverside, California. CAD is a very simple program to use. There are extensive training videos. I have them on my channel here. Very simple to use. Listen, man, people that have never printed before, if you're in California, Mark, I'll send you a joint in the package when you order. Best I can do for you, man. Either rip can get you going. There's tons of videos. If you order a rip, you can just order the training option that I have. It's $50 more, where I come in, sit down with you and train you and get you familiar with the whole process. But color management and all that, I can't do it from here. It's impossible. If I have your printer, I'm able to print you a profile. And hey, if your girl will smoke it, I'm happy to help you. Check it out. I want to show you something, man. So, been working on something that I've ordered. And this is for a dispensary. I got to make 30 of these, right? Because I'm always hustling in some way. I love to print. And so even though sometimes my buddy, Tony, so he says, okay, I'm placing your order. Great, thank you. So check this out. You can get these customized, man. They can either be, take it easy, my friend. You got to see this, though. These are very cool. I'm so happy to introduce these. So although these are tumblers, right? You can make yourself an interesting, customized bong and pipe piece. I make these right here. And then you can just hit them, man. Put water in there. You know, I have had people put all types of like alcoholic drinks in there, and then they're able to smoke with them. And I can't believe how cool these are. So they do come in smaller ones because that's overkill to have something that big. You know, but the people love these. And so we have these in a smaller, we have these in smaller tumblers, because sometimes when you're smoking, man, you know, you want some ice in your bong. And so we have these. I can send these out. They're customizable. Or, you know, if you're a sublimator, you know, you can, so you are a sublimator. You know, you can get these and get them sent out. I sell these as well. They're going to go on the website shortly. I have an entire, you know, 200 of these that came in. And they're cool. Or you can go look them up online, you know, and get them, you know, probably from Alibaba or something like that. They're really cool. They're both large and small. So these ones here, you know, this is one that, you know, I printed. This is my child, man, my little sweet pea. So you can do any type of design you want on these things, you know, and I love to print. All right, everybody, I'm going to let you go. Thanks for tuning in. To those of you that did tune in, I appreciate it. If you go order from their website, type in a keyword called Brother Ernest, and I think it'll take a little discount off. And if not, if you're in a legal cannabis state, I put a joint in every package as my way of saying thank you. Don't fucking report me, you know. Come on, man, it's just pot. You know, it's the most harmless plant on the earth. So on that note, it's been fun talking to you. In closing, we have the best DTF printers in the market. We hope that you will, you know, act and get a, you know, get one of the printers that we have. You just go over here to printer sales and realize these printers are about to increase in price. I have a special time, limited time, until January 15th, a $13,000 bundle price. It's about, the printer itself is about to skyrocket to 17 grand. And there's a reason. They have to. They're the best printers in the nation for DTF, and we cannot get any more. They're just, we can't buy them anymore. We bought all that they had in stock, so it sucks. I mean, I thought that I was going to be able to get hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of more, and you know, the print mafia. There really is a print mafia. I got to do a whole video on this. You know, and these printers are being scooped up and sent to Nigeria and sent to Egypt and sent to different parts of the world where they're sold for an exuberant amount of money. They're just starting to come out. I'll show you. If you're in Asia or you're in Europe, you know, you can get the Asian. Well, you can't anymore. I used to import them. Now I can't. So we're just, the season's over. Now everybody knows. Everybody around the world knows that these printers are the best that there are. And so they're going after them, trying to buy them up. And, you know, look, if you come over here, you get a 20, so refurb, just a printer alone, $15,000, right? If you go to our 24-inch 10-channel printers, $17,000. And that's because all the parts can be purchased directly from Epson. You know, so it's not like the Chinese parts where you have to order them and import them in and then have some technician, you know, hopefully the average person, they're not going to be able to self-repair their printers, man. That's not, you know, they're just not going to be able to do it. So in this case, you can buy the parts from Epson and your local serviceman can repair them. Or if you have a back-to-back warranty, we'll repair it for you. You can ship it or drive it back to us, drop it off, spend some time in a motel or a hotel, smoke some pot with us, come to a training and learn how to repair your printer on your own. But it's you can also call a service technician and they can repair these printers. Not the case for all the time, because sometimes there's some rural people that have to drive like 10 hours, you know, to drop their printer off at a print station somewhere. So on that note, thanks for tuning in, everybody. Be blessed, you know, have a good time, happy printing. And, you know, you tell me, if you have a Chinese printer, reach out to me and share your heartache and or your success. I'm always open to hear things. And as for me, buy American, right? Don't import from China. Strengthen our own country. There, every time you purchase something that's made in America or shelved in America or certified American, like Epson printers are certified American printers, you are helping people in the United States of America. And thus, by ordering from China, you're weakening the nation. And we're already weak anyways, you know. Keep your money in America, man. And buy the right printers. You know, these are the best there are. If you don't buy from me, I understand. You know, you may be mad because you got a printer, and how I used to do it in the past, I'd sell printers to people and say, hey, man, I don't do conversions. I don't give advice on how to convert your printer. And so people would get furious. Man, I bought a printer from you, you know, and you're not helping me with it. That's because I don't want part of your headache. I'm a very smart man. And you need to learn how to work on your printer. When I built my first direct-to-garment printer in 2015, right, nobody fucking helped me. Nobody helped me at all. And yet all these people are out here, hey, Ernest, teach me how to do this. Teach me how to do that. Well, if I teach you how to do this, you're never going to learn. If you want to learn, come to our shop in Boston where you can go through a full training. You know, is there a discount code for the website? Yeah, I think it's Brother Ernest. What are you trying to order? Let me see. I should be able to reach out to my guy real quick and have him put it in. So we're gonna Oh, I got you. That's only, okay, so we're going to do just a standard create a discount, and I'm going to go create a discount here. And we're going to type in brother. I know the discount we can use. You're going to use the name of my baby, Sweet Pea. SWEE apostrophe PEA, Sweet Pea. And what we're going to do is we're going to take off a fixed amount on anything that you order. So I think there's a way that I can add a we're going to do a minimum purchase amount. So we want to do, let's say, $100. And then we're going to go to discount value. We're going to do 10% off. That's even on a printer. We're going to limit the time the discount can be used. One time in total. We're going to start that discount today. And then we're going to take off. It's going to be 25. Rem, you're the one that's in Boston, right? This is your discount to use. Make sure that apostrophe is there. All right, so we're going to close out of there, close out of here, close out of here, and just end right there. So you guys can also reach out to me. Call me. It's 508-318-8788. That's SWEE apostrophe PEA, Sweet Pea, with an apostrophe, Sweet Pea. Let me see if I can find that, and we're going to go Sweet. Just like this right here. And that's my son's name, Sweet Pea. Can't see it because it's getting dark here, but Sweet Pea. All right. It's been a pleasure hanging out with you guys. And I got to go plow. Got to go plow some snow so my wife can, pull the car back in. And we're going to go play in the snow with the baby. So on that note, it's been a pleasure hanging out with you guys. As always, the best printer in the DTF industry is the LEP 6000. And it isn't valid. Let me try it out. Something must have went wrong. So let's go here to... And we'll just go ahead and try DTF supplies. Let's hit ink. Let's go and add this to the cart. And then as I add it to the cart, there should be an area to do discounts. And this is why my guy's not in. Just send me a text message, 508-318-8788. And yeah, I don't know why the discount's not adding up there. Let's see. I'll try to figure this out. I don't do this part, so I know very little on how to make all this back-end website work. It should have applied the discount to your ink, film, and powder. It says active, active, active. Oh, I know what I need to do. Okay, so let's come over here. I'll fix it here in just a minute. Try it in a moment, and it should be able to. Two variants. Let's see if I can go fix this in and put the discount notification in there. Okay, so look, I've been on too long. It's going to cut me off as soon as it gets to 1:15. I know it does it all the time. Keep trying, and it'll just work here in just a moment. All right, everybody? So long. Happy talking to you. And happy printing. If you buy the right printer, you'll be happily printing. If you buy the wrong printer, you'll be pulling your hair out and your beard out in frustration and aggravation. So have a good day and happy printing, everybody. So long.